The following podcast is a mass media production.
Hi, I'm Josh Galindo.
And I'm Krystal Galindo. Welcome to the Going Galindo Rugrats and Renovations podcast.
A lifestyle podcast where we will offer our experience and expertise in building real, lasting wealth through renovating and flipping homes.
And the chaos that comes with balancing a family of 6, leaving nothing unsaid.
Follow our wild ride we call life and apply our lessons to your own journey. Good morning, Krystal.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm excellent.
Good.
Thank you.
I might be a little slow to the fight this morning.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to get to the gym.
Oh, no.
I know.
It's okay, babe. I'm not able to make it to the gym every day, and I figure out how to make it a good day. So.
I think a little bit of that for me is just the habitual.
It's routine
component. Yeah, I like getting there, getting all the kinks worked out, getting my heart going, drinking lots of water. I think that gets me right. The caffeine from the pre-workout. I kind of get into my business zone for the day because the text messages start coming in, gets my brain moving. It's almost like warming up the engine.
Yeah, it's like your stretch session,
yes.
Stretching out your brain.
Yes. So then I start a little adrenaline drop, when something needs adrenaline. And then all that gets me going. And then I walk in, I'm like, boom, ready to go. So that kind of leads us to our topic of the day. All right, let's see if we can add some value to some listeners. So first and foremost, guys, if you like the podcast and you're at dinner or you're at lunch or you're at breakfast or you're at a social gathering, tell all your friends and family about us because the way that this works for us is the more listeners that we get, the more sponsors we can attract, and the more time and energy and effort we can commit to it. Because we're being rewarded for that time, energy, and effort. And then maybe the content can get better and the show can get better. So it all starts with each person, if they like it, referring us to somebody that hasn't listened to us.
Yeah, because we're not spending money to market it. It's all based on referrals and sharing. So like,
share, and comment.
Rate, subscribe.
Well done.
Okay, we're going to take a quick pause to shout out a few of our sponsors.
Hey guys, I know all of you have heard of Moon Valley Nurseries. Well, now is the best time to plant everything, and Moon Valley Nurseries has everything to plant. Right now, you can get 50% off plus free planting. Moon Valley Nurseries is the largest box tree grower in America, and they've brought in millions of dollars of inventory for this event. From their farms to your yard, nobody does it better. So stop in now for the biggest and best selection. For the best trees on earth, go straight to the moon. Head to moonvalleynurseries.com to learn more.
All right, we all know adulting is hard. You know what shouldn't be hard? Buying a house. Robert Coomer has helped us and our friends buy and refinance houses for the past 15 years. Every time we work with him, we know we're getting the best service possible and that the person on the other end of that phone call has a smile on their face. And that leaves a smile on ours. Call Robert Coomer. He does all the heavy lifting for you so you can worry about more important things like what kind of wine pairs with your leftover pizza. But seriously, give him and his team a call at 702-850-2000. You won't regret it.
All right, let's jump into this. So advice for business and personal growth is the general topic that we're going to talk about, and then how to maintain a positive mindset.
Yes.
So why don't you start off with what you'd like to go into first, honey?
Well, I mean, I guess we could talk about mindset first.
Okay.
I don't know. That's something that I've learned recently. I wouldn't say that I always had like the best mindset, but I think that I know this is cheesy and not business related at all. My focus is on like my personal, and then your focus is business. But I would say that my whole life, I wanted to have 4 kids. And like any time, like, you talk about that when you're younger, like, oh, you want kids? Yeah, I want 4. Everyone's always told me that I'm crazy and like, oh, you're insane. You're never going to have 4 kids. You'll see once you have one. It's too much work, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, like that's what I wanted. So the second I had Beckham, who was like super difficult, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to have more, I'm going to have to figure it out, like make it not so heavy. So then I have the next one, and everyone's telling me, you're not going to have 4, you're not. And I'm like, you watch me have 4 kids. I'm going to do it. Like, don't even try to tell me I'm not going to. And I think that literally the second I had Jagger, which I told, who's number 4, do you remember me telling you, like, I feel complete?
100%.
And I feel like that's the first goal that I've wanted for so long, that the second that it happened, it made me feel like, man, if I want something bad enough, I'm going to get it. And how rewarding it feels, I mean, besides the kid component, but like how rewarding it feels to like want something so bad and then you make it happen. So I think that's the biggest part for me for mindset, is like achieving that first goal. And I had like other goals, but the most impactful one was that one, because everyone told me I couldn't do it. Everyone told me I'll change my mind. I was like, no. So I just made it like, I can handle more. I can take more. I could do more. Like, this isn't too much. This isn't too overwhelming. And I think that's what everyone should try to do, is you set a goal and don't do anything that's not going to get you to reach your goal. Every step that you make should be something that reaches you to that goal. And once you make that first goal, like once you achieve it, you'll realize, like, okay, like I can do all of these things, instead of I can't. It's like once you reach the first one, you're like, okay, I could do it. And I feel like that's like really important to just make that first goal, reach the first goal.
Yeah, no, I think it is very important. I think, and that's kind of goes into something that I try to encourage the agents around here, and obviously live my own life that way, is setting realistic goals. It's very easy to walk in and say, I'm going to make $1 million this year. Well, that goal is so big. There's nothing wrong with big goals, but the way to accomplish big goals is a lot of little goals. So you throw this huge goal out there, and all of a sudden, there's no roadmap to get to the end. And then we'll just shorten the analogy. All of a sudden, you don't accomplish the goal. Well, you didn't learn anything.
Right.
If anything, you just discouraged yourself, reduced its self-esteem levels, showed your body and your brain that you're not capable of accomplishing what you'd set out to accomplish.
And I don't think people realize that, like, when you set a goal and then you don't achieve it, you don't realize that it's ruining your self-esteem, but it is.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
It's like a subconscious thing.
Absolutely. And it goes the other way, too. Accomplishment equals confidence. And I reference confidence and self-esteem pretty much in the same bucket. I'm sure there's a difference somewhere, but accomplishment equals confidence. And the same thing goes the other way. Every time that you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, don't fool yourself. That is eroding away at self-esteem and confidence. How do you feel confident or how do you build self-esteem or feel good about yourself if you said you're going to do something and didn't do it? Whether you told that to yourself or you told it to another person.
Right.
Okay. It's like grade school logic. If you do something, if you say you're going to do something, you do it, you feel good about it. If you tell yourself you're going to do something and you go and do it, you feel good about it. So. And
I feel like that starts like even on a basic level, like my whole life, I've always lived like, if I said I'm going to do something, like if I'm going to show up, I don't care what happens, I'm going to show up, unless there's like, unless Beckham falls and has to get stitches at Red Rock. That's, a little bit different. But
you're not comfortable with completely flaking.
No.
Saying that something comes up is one thing, but it doesn't mean that you're okay with it or accept it as an alternative.
Right.
I just won't go. I don't feel like going. If you said you're going to go,
I'm going to show up and be there because I'm going to be dependable. And that's, I think that doing that my whole life has also helped me have a mindset of like, I know that it reinforces my belief that I'm dependable.
Yeah.
Not even anybody else, for myself.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you're looking for a jeweler you can trust for all of your jewelry needs, the Jewelers of Las Vegas is the place to go. They have the largest selection of diamonds, engagement rings, and jewelry in Las Vegas, and they carry luxury watch brands. The Jewelers of Las Vegas has been Nevada's most trusted jeweler since 1976. They're family-owned and operated, and they are dedicated to giving the best customer service. They specialize in custom design, and I love that they have their own manufacturing facility on site here in Vegas. So they do everything right here. Most importantly, they will always take care of you. You can go to their website at www.thejewelers.com or call or text 702-382-1234 for more information or to see their locations. Tell them Josh and Krystal sent you. After all, it is where I got Krystal's engagement ring. So how to maintain positive mindset. That's the second category here. So let's go back there. So positive mindset. How often is this a conscious? That this will be a fun conversation.
Okay.
Is this a conscious effort to wake up and say I have to be positive, or are we naturally positive and we get to reap the rewards of being naturally positive? Does our environment create positivity for us to naturally vibrate within? Or do we have to create the environment? Like if you really break down what, it's easy to go, be positive. Just like it's easy for someone to walk in and go, I want to make $1 million this year. But to really be able to teach somebody or explain to somebody how to accomplish that desire, you got to create a step-by-step model. So a few things that I remember learning when I was in Mexico, because that was definitely where somebody taught me how to change my mindset, is your subconscious is the most vulnerable, aware, and awake in the morning and at night. And everybody's trying to build self-esteem, because with a big pack of self-esteem on your back, you can almost blow through like any challenge, because you need that. It's like your fuel. It's like your momentum. It's your motivation. So ways to accomplish self-esteem, or to build self-esteem, is to acknowledge all accomplishments, because accomplishment equals confidence, self-esteem. So I remember before, when in the morning we would wake up, I would have a few different things I wanted to start programming my brain with. So one of my things was an I am statement. One of my I am statements was, I am a powerful, caring, honest, worthy young man of God. And I didn't want to just throw out some random words. And I encouraged, when I was teaching other kids in the school how to do this, it wasn't about throwing out the most glamorous words.
Right.
It was about defining and understanding each word, because your brain was going to attach a definition to that word, and that's what you would ultimately do based on the definition you've attached to it. So I am a powerful. I always wanted to come off powerful. I always wanted to feel powerful. Very important. I wanted to feel powerful. Caring. I wanted to counter the power that I have with care, to show people that I can be compassionate and a human.
Empathetic.
And yep, exactly. Caring and honest. As long as you're honest, honesty's huge. But one is it uses less brain power.
Yeah.
Because you just recite what happened.
You don't have to remember your lie.
You don't have to remember your lie. It's much easier.
Yeah.
Honest. Powerful, caring, honest, worthy. Worthy was a big one for me. And actually, when I used to write it, what I would do is I'd do the W down, up, down, and then I'd take the right side of the W and bring it back over towards the left side. And for me, that was a visual that encompassed everything. I am worthy of everything that I've got. Worthy is a big one for people. It's usually one of the bigger self-limiting beliefs that people have. And being that when my dad left young, that immediately created that self-limiting belief. I wasn't worthy of his love. Well, now that that really, so that was the trigger, but unfortunately, all it's really done is cemented in my mind a lack of worth in all departments. So for me to be able to, I would argue that I'm maybe over the dad thing.
Yeah.
But the damage is still there.
Right.
So for me, worthy was important. I wake up, I am worthy of the bed that I'm sleeping in. I am worthy of the nice clothes that I wear. I am worthy of the nice cars that I drive. I am worthy of the love that I receive from my wife, my children, and my family, and my friends. So my point in saying all that is it's an I am statement. And the problem is with your brain is it has negative things that it's already created about itself. So it could be, I am an unworthy. Think about that for a moment. Let's say that a woman is sexually abused. And generally speaking, I don't want to blanket this statement, but generally speaking, if that takes place, they don't feel worthy of love. They believe that they're a sex object versus something that can be loved and appreciated and all those other things. So then you always manifest what you believe about yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then you go out there and the actions are just confirming your beliefs that you already have about yourself. So if your I am statement, it can go either direction.
Right.
Life will build it for you, and generally it will build it for you based on the circumstances in your life. So whether you realize it or not, you'll be waking up and repeating to yourself, I am unworthy, I am unhappy, I am fat, I am ugly, I am this, I'm stupid. I had a huge insecurity around being unintelligent. The fact that society told me that I was going to be unintelligent because I didn't graduate high school, all that did was confirm that belief that I was already stupid. So actually, at a point, I added intelligent to my I am statement. How do you think about that? But so my point is that you can repeat all these negative things to yourself, and then what you end up doing is you manifest and confirm those beliefs through actions. Okay, so the way to counter all of that is, like I'm telling you, the most basic, fundamental way, step by step, easy to do, is just create an I am statement. And whatever you say to yourself that's negative, reverse it. And you don't have to do that, but that's a good suggestion. If you don't even want to do that, but you just have this desire of what you'd like to be, I want to be this, then just start saying that every morning and define each word, because your brain's going to attach the definition to that word. And you want to make sure that you're doing it correctly. So in the morning you wake up and that's the first thing that you say, I am a powerful, caring, honest, worthy young man of God. Something that I've kind of and these things keep evolving. This I am statement for me was built when I was 16. My life is totally different today. I have a gratitude list in my notes on my phone. I'm thankful for my gym workout partner. I'm thankful for being able to walk into the gym and say hello to multiple people. I'm thankful for the heat that's keeping me warm in my room. I'm thankful for the blanket that's making me feel cozy. I'm thankful for my wife being next to me. So those things change, but the easiest way to learn that habit is what I just described with the I am statement. Okay, now let me jump to at night. Now your goal is to reprogram your subconscious to start thinking highly of yourself so that your actions manifest what you're thinking about yourself. And the action is the required component in your life that will create the actual result. Okay, there's thinking, and then there's manifesting those thoughts into reality, which is action, and then you'll gain the results that you want. Without what I just described, it's just a thought. So now we jump over to at night. So in order to build self-esteem, you need to acknowledge your accomplishments, all of them. Okay, so you need the two to start changing things in your life. So at night, it's as simple as laying down and then just rattling through all of the accomplishments in your day and giving yourself self-love. It's actually kind of really cool to hear this again. I need to get back into doing some of these things. I remember I used to do this a lot. I did it every day for 16 months in Mexico, and I did it for many years after. But you lay down and you just recap what you did. I was disciplined enough to wake up this morning and go to work. Good job, Josh. I was disciplined enough to choose water instead of Sprite. Good job, Josh. Good job, Josh. I was disciplined enough to fulfill all of the obligations I had made in the form of showing up to all of my appointments today. Good job, Josh. I communicated clearly with the people around me. Like just you could
small,
and you can call them petty accomplishments. Like these are a petty grab. These are they're nothing. They're small. But the point is that every time that you say that, you are acknowledging and becoming conscious of how great of a human being you actually are. Because it's very easy to go to bed and not acknowledge anything that you did throughout the day. But if you really break down what we're doing on a daily basis, like by step by step by step, by thought by thought by thought, by action by action by action, if you look back, you're like, I'm a really spectacular human being.
Yeah.
And everybody is, but they don't realize it unless they write down or take mental notes of what they've accomplished and did that day.
I think it's a visual thing too, but you have to acknowledge your accomplishments, even if it's, I think, going back to the morning thing, when you set your alarm to wake up, you're like, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow. And you set your alarm, okay, 6:30. I'm not great at this, but when I do set my alarm for 6 or 6:30 because I'm going to wake up early and I get up at that time, I immediately feel good. I'm like, I got up early. I said I was going to wake up early and I did.
Yeah.
Like that's a small win that can change your whole day
and
put you in a good mood.
Totally. So now what that has done, let's just stick with that alarm clock thing, is that you feel empowered because you are in control. So now you know that you can overcome a simple challenge such as waking up at a time that you've set out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're equipped.
Yeah.
You've kind of got it. I see it. I feel it. I know that I can do this thing. I have faith in my ability to accomplish a small task like that. So now what ends up happening is the next task comes. And humans base their abilities to overcome challenge or overcome the next thing on past experience. So now you've created a track record where you're saying to yourself, I just accomplished that here. This new challenge looks comparable. I know I can blow right through this. Okay, that's the point of why. That's why it's so important to have the self-esteem, the additional self-esteem. So that was a good small example of it.
Yeah.
Well, wait till you accomplish something big.
Right.
Now the next big thing that comes along, you ask yourself, how did I react? How did I perform in the previous challenge that I had? Well, you go through your history.
Yeah.
And then you look at the challenge ahead and you say to yourself, I got that. That's why people will sometimes that don't have as much challenge in their life that they've overcome will look at me or you and go, I mean, how often do you get it? You get it all the time with the kids, all the time. They're looking, how do you do it?
I don't even know.
Well, all you did is you prepared and stepped up to the challenge, overcame it, built a history of your ability to step up and overcome challenge. So now you're in a position to take on new challenge of the same capacity or more.
Yeah.
What I'm really trying to do is break this down as if someone's walking up the steps. Step right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to say, hey, climb up those stairs with one step versus let me show you how to get up it with a little bit more ease. So I may be beating a dead horse, but that's kind of what my point is.
Well, so, and to put it on a smaller scale, what I used to do, and sometimes I still do it, but I would take like the tasks I have to do for that week. Like, okay, I wanted to clean out this drawer. I wanted to organize my closet, stupid stuff. And like, you can't do it all in one day. And you don't want to set that because if you don't get it done, you could get 5 things done out of the 7 and you don't feel good because you said you're going to do 7 things that day. So I set like goals for the week. So I had more days to like get it done. And if I did 3 things in one day, it was like, okay, and I met my goal for that day. I just need to get at least 3 things done. If I get 4, great. But if I get 2, like that's not an option. I had to get at least 3 done. And so I'd lay down at night and I'm like, oh, check. And then if there's something else that I did that I didn't write down, I just wrote it down and checked it so I could see how much I actually got done.
See, I think what you did there, if you break that down, is you create a very fine balance on how to put yourself in a position to accomplish your goal and do it in a timely manner. That's important. Is Krystal didn't say, I'm going to get all 7 of these things done today. Because if she doesn't, she set an unrealistic expectation for her time frame to get these things done. So if you don't, you've now taken a teaspoon, a cupful of your self-esteem and dumped it back out. So by creating a realistic timeline for you to get that done, but not one that's so long that it never gets done,
right?
That is a smart goal. That is a smart executed goal. There's actually a whole thing on smarts. No, really. I mean, I think that's important to mention. Hey, honey, do you know what time it is?
I mean, I think I do.
It's time to shout out sponsor Southwest Custom Construction and tell everyone how great they are.
Oh, okay. That's easy. Nick is our go-to contractor. There's a reason he's done more than $75 million in construction renovations. He does quality work, he's dependable, and he can help you with just about anything. Is there anything you would add?
Nick's a great guy. I think he covered what matters most. Give Nick at Southwest Custom Construction a call if you need a contractor you can count on. His number is 480-235-8148. So I'm going to throw out it's not as popular today. There's a whole different demographic, age group of entrepreneurs, of people trying to move up and become successful and accomplish all their goals. But something that was really important, I was always living my life this way because my mom just naturally taught me it. It was through a church that she had learned, that she went to in L.A. called Agape. But so she had kind of just passed this mindset down to me, but I never was able to define it. The movie is called The Secret. It If you've watched it, great. You should probably watch it again. Doesn't hurt.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it again. If you've never watched it, really watch it. And what it kind of does, it just puts a label or a definition on that type of thinking. And it really hones it in so that you can use it better. And so when I watched that for the first time, I remember thinking a vision board. I never even heard of a vision board until I saw that movie.
When you put it out there and make it a visual thing, something happens that makes you work harder for it.
I had put that I wanted a modern home on this vision board. I wanted the modern architecture.
Yeah.
I'm going to fast forward quickly because there's a few different things on that board that I talked about. I wanted a modern vision. I wanted a modern home, and I had put it on the vision board. Long story short, we end up buying the house that we own in the Ridges, super modern architecture. We have to put a pool in, so we put a pool in the backyard, and we just choose to do a sunken fire pit.
Yeah.
Okay. So one day I'm sitting here trying to assist one of my friends or agents on how important it is to have vision boards. So I pull out my vision board and I go to look at the picture of the modern house that I had on there. There's the modern house, but then if you zoomed in on the actual fire pit and the pool setup, it was exactly what we built.
Yeah, like subconsciously.
The fire pit was sunken. The pool was what it was. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I literally built the exact. This was from 3 years ago.
Right.
So we're sitting here describing this vision board, right?
I know, yeah.
And then, but I just thought about this. We didn't explain what a vision board is.
Right.
So I'll tell you my 2 cents, and I'm going to stick with how I do it, and then you share your side. So if you have a vision, you have your goals, right? You want to match your thoughts with a visual reference.
Yeah.
So for example, I remember when I built my vision board, I wanted a team of agents. So I found we were using magazines and going through them.
Yeah.
And I found another brokerage that had all of their agents' photos, and it was in a magazine.
Yeah.
I cut it out. I put it on there. The visual matched my goal. That's the important thing. Is that when you look at that, it's in crystal clear alignment with what your goal is in your mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a little hack that's fun because you do it with magazines because you could throw parties. And kind of have a party going on.
A vision board party where you get together with your friends and put out. I say it's like a 5-year plan, but you could set however you want it to be. I like 5 years, but go on.
So if you're missing something, don't be ashamed or bashful to just go onto Google and type in exactly what your vision is. Exactly, the thought you're having, and then go to images and just keep swiping until it perfectly aligns with what you're thinking. Because it's really important that that's the deal.
Yeah.
So it's the visual part is huge. So here we are right now, right? We'll just fast forward to today. So just a few nights ago, I'm sitting in bed going, Krystal, I'm kind of feeling lost. And I'm like, I don't really know what my next move is.
Right.
What is my next big move? Because I'm not a stagnant person. I don't need to maybe grow as quickly as I've grown in the last 5 years, 6 years now. But I also don't want to stop growing, So when we hit 30 rental properties, which are about to close on our 31st here shortly, the second one, and Brian had.
Oh, yeah.
Krystal's face just.
I was like, which one are we buying?
Yeah. Her jaw dropped to the ground. Let me grab a shovel to lift it back up.
Like, you forgot to tell me about that one.
No. So the second one, so we'll be at 31. But so basically, all of the income from those assets generally pay our bills. I'm trying to learn within myself how to maintain motivation. I'm naturally motivated, but it's still at the same time you're constantly looking back and going, I don't know, do I have to? And it's like, but I want to accomplish more.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to take on more debt where it puts me back into a place where my income doesn't pay my bills.
Right.
So anyway, I'm sitting there heeing and hawing. I go, hey, honey, what do you think we should do? And I'm going to kind of blow through it quickly. I'm like, I think I want to buy the building we're in. It's a $3 million building. How do I pull that off And then what was our other? Oh, and we want to start borrowing more for at least the next 6 months or while the rates are low, and preserve cash.
Right.
So that in the event the market turns, we've got a ton of cash on hand, which would put us in a position to take advantage of the turn.
Yeah.
So we go, how do we pull this off? Well, here's a great example of mindset and putting yourself in the right place at the right time and taking advantage of opportunity and all the above. So I buy this little rental called Vista Del Monte, little single-story, 1.5 car garage, 3-bedroom, 1,200 square feet for $150,000, probably 2.5 years ago.
3
years ago.
Yeah.
$150,000. Today, I believe I could sell it for $300,000. Today, this building becomes a viable option for me. Yeah. To be able to buy, because if with an SBA loan, I only have to put down 10%. With a $3 million purchase price, it's $300,000. There's other tenants in the building that will help pay the payment, and I will all of my lease payments that were going to the previous landlord now going to me and paying down the debt, and I still cash flow and earn a return on my down payment. So what we're planning to do is that, and then this tenant all of a sudden gives us notice when all of our other tenants are sitting strong. This tenant goes, "Hey, we're going to move out, Vista Del Monte."
Yep.
And then all of a sudden the opportunity to buy the building pops up, and that house is generally going to spit out the same amount of money needed to purchase this building. So we're gonna 1031 the money out of that house so that we don't pay any taxes on it into this building. And then once that money is in this building, we are going to do what's called a cost segregation, I believe is the correct term.
Yeah.
Which somebody will come into the building, determine how quickly, it's called bonus depreciation. You can quickly depreciate the building in a shorter amount of time versus the normal long length of time. So basically, you'd be able to take a huge loss in the first year of owning it. My understanding is it's about a $900,000 loss. You accelerate the depreciation that you would normally take over years into 1 year.
Okay.
If I had a $900,000 loss, the CARES Act adjusted some of the verbiage on how to do this, but the CARES Act that came out allows you to carry your loss back 5 years. So then you ask yourself, how much have I paid in taxes over the last 5 years?
Right.
So at the very least, I would be able to get all of that back. So let's just say that it's around $300,000. So I put $300 down on the building. I depreciated the building. It created a huge loss. I carried that loss back over the last 5 years of my business, of my career. And then the IRS wrote me a check for almost $300,000. So that little $150,000 investment into Vista Del Monte turned into a $3 million building that's 20,000 square feet sitting on Durango and Flamingo that I operate my business out of. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
And that would go into the mindset thing. I've been asking myself, what's the next move? There's got to be a next move. And I'm just putting that energy out there. I don't know where it's going to land, but I'm just hoping it lands somewhere. What's the next move? Am I going to really be the guy that's got 120 homes? Or am I going to be the guy that's got 50 homes and 10 commercial buildings and 3 warehouse lots that are being rented out? And like, what's my next move? There's really no safer move than to buy the building you're in.
Right, because you're using it anyways. You're paying for it anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then, boom, shows up on my doorstep. Hey, guys, we're going to pause this episode really quick so that we can hear from our sponsors.
I'm Kelly Namiro from Wellness by Kelley, certified holistic health coach and Pilates instructor. I want to quickly pause today's episode of the show to let you know that my private one-on-one coaching container is officially open. I'm only taking on 16 clients in the whole of this year to help women rebalance their hormones and feel at home in their bodies again. My one-on-one is truly for you if you feel like you're chronically fatigued or bloated or have unexplained weight gain, if you struggle with body image and confidence, or if you're running around feeling like your to-do list is running you, pumping stress hormones through you on the daily. If you're unavailable for continuing down this path of surviving instead of thriving, I'm here to support you in getting the results that you want and finally feeling like you're living your best life. Head to the link in the show notes to find out more.
All right, guys, let me make sure I give myself a really quick plug here. I just want to take a moment and make sure I'm crystal clear on what Galindo Group Real Estate offers to the Las Vegas public. We have a company called Galindo Buys Houses that buys homes as is, all cash, and can close in as little as 7 days with no appraisals, no commissions, and we pay all of the fees associated with the closing. So the number we give you is the number you should walk away with from the closing table. You pick your close date, and if you need to, you can stay up to 3 weeks after closing, giving you a home and the much-needed cash to make future decisions. Galindo Buys House is a locally owned company that takes the profits generated here in town and reinvests them locally. We're not that big hedge fund that takes the profits generated here and sends them off to New York and other big cities. I employ people here locally and invest here locally. If you or anyone you know is behind on payments, repairs, or inherited a tenant disaster, don't hesitate to give me a call. We will get you an offer in 5 minutes or less and close in 7 days or less. So please take this number down. It's easy, 820-CASH. Again, it's 702-820-CASH. Talk to you soon. What else you got, baby?
No, I thought that was good. I just think it's important. Well, I mean, that's like a big goal, so no one can go out there and just say they're going to buy a building.
Well, that was
but
why...
it starts with little wins and little goals that can help you reach your bigger goals, I guess.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to break down how it happened. Yeah. Because it's easy to always walk into places like, I got 31 rental properties. The person sitting across the table doesn't even own the home they live in.
Right.
Isn't going to go, oh, that's easy. They're going to be like, that is so difficult. I don't even know where this guy started. Well, it just starts with starting. Yeah. And the same thing with Vista Del Monte, or this building accomplishment, which is going to be a big one. This one I'll probably celebrate. It started with buying one rental and learning, and then everything else was just educating yourself and waiting for an opportunity to show up. Yeah. But it really only started with that. So the $3 million building, which isn't cash or anything like that, the $3 million asset was accomplished with a $150,000 investment. So
I think that it started even before that. Like, I remember when we bought mezzanine, and I didn't want to go into work all the time because we had Beckham, and I was like, I don't want to leave Beckham. But, like, we moved in, and I knew that I wanted this certain dining room table, and it cost $700. So I was like, okay, this week, I usually put away, like, I put like $50 per day, that whatever I made. So if I made 100, it was half, and if I made 200, it was 50, and it wasn't that big of a deal. But I was like, I'm going to take however much time the 700, broke it up per shift. I'm going to say $50 per shift, put it aside just for my table. And that other money can go to pay the other bills and stuff. But just like small things. And if I always like to take Sundays off, so I was off Friday, Saturday, and I worked Sunday through Thursday. So I told myself on Monday through Thursday, if I was able to make however much my goal was for that week, then I'd be able to take Sunday off. And if I didn't, then I was going to have to work on Sunday. Just small little things, because it starts with the first 100 that you save. It does,
Absolutely, and that's why we keep banging on mindset. Yeah, we're creating little scenarios that will have a positive result. It's almost like we're playing mom and dad in our head, and we're the child. If you go to work every day and make enough money to accomplish your week's goals, you get Sunday off. So we're allowing ourselves, we're choosing to manipulate ourselves, allowing ourselves to be manipulated, and creating these little mini accomplishments and incentives. And that's exactly right. I remember back in the day when I didn't have really any money, if I closed a deal, I would take myself to Buffet Asia on Rainbow and Sahara. Yeah. Because it was like $32 lunch. I'd get the all-you-can-eat and fire away. But I never spent $32 because it was mid-recession. My thing was generally $5 Subway, the $5 footlongs. Yeah. So for me to go and spend 4 times the amount of money, that was a big deal. So that was my way of closing more deals so that I could go eat at Buffet Asia and not feel guilty about it. I just identified that. We're totally just playing games with ourselves and our minds.
And I think,
but that just shows how elevated and deep of a thinker that we are. If you're just numbingly going through life and waiting for all these other people to give you what you hope that you want,
also think that something important to note is that, like, people, I don't know why, are naturally haters. So, like, it's not very common that you like say you're going to do something and everybody's so supportive. Like, of course, the people you love are going to be supportive.
I got a good one on this.
But like, I remember working at Cosmo, and I'm like, oh yeah, we flip houses, and they're like, oh, like just hating on it. It's like, watch me flip more houses than you say that I can. Like, watch me do it, and I think that everybody should use any form of negativity instead of just taking that negativity and letting it discourage you. Let it motivate you.
Yep. Really great point. I'm going to tap
That's
on.
what my sweater is for today.
underestimate me. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So I remember listening to a podcast with Barbara from Shark Tank.
Uh-huh.
Her and her husband were in business together. They built a big, beautiful real estate company. He ends up, the story could be off here. He ends up divorcing her, leaving her, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And when she walked out the door, I don't remember which way this went, but the story's going to be the same. She either said he knew better than to say, good luck, you'll fail, or he did say, good luck, you'll fail. But either way, her point was that do not challenge. Like, he was better off waving goodbye nicely so that I didn't leave with a chip on my shoulder to go and beat him. Or he was strategic enough and knew better than to do that. But either way, you use those doubts from other people to motivate you.
Yeah.
I remember there's so many challenges that we had. When we created Galindo Group, I got texts from like these veteran agents because I came on the scene hard. Mm-hmm. We were Galindo Group and we were like everywhere. Let's buy not one Jeep, but 3 1999 Jeep Cherokees. And let's put logos on all of them. Let's put a logo
everything.
on the Audi. Let's put a logo on the Suburban. Let's get gear. Mm-hmm. Like any source that we could advertise that was inexpensive, we did.
Because we're driving around anyways. Might as well put the logos on. We're wearing clothes. Might as well put the logo on.
Yep. Yep. And so I remember, there was some haters. Who's the group?
Yeah. Because it was like Galindo Group. They're like, oh, a group? Who's all the group?
Yeah.
Just you?
It was me and Krystal at the time. And then another guy.
Where's your group?
Yeah, where's your group? And that's the best thing is I've watched my trolley take me up the mountain every day since I got on this journey. But don't ever forget that I'm watching everybody else on the same mountain. And I see them every day, same amount of time. And it's like, man, your trolley just isn't quite moving like my trolley.
How's your realty trolley?
How's your trolley treating you, homie? Yeah. So they were the haters up front. So I remember Galindo Group, haters. Mm-hmm. What else was the haters?
Just in anything. Just the haters, they try to discourage you, but you can't let them get to you. You're letting them win. And trust me, if someone tells you can't do something and then you go and do it, it feels 10 times better that someone told you couldn't do it.
The best revenge on the planet is making more money. Seriously. Yeah. You want to revenge somebody? Just go make more money than them. I'm telling you. That's it.
So funny.
So, and I wonder if a little piece of that is, I always say some of my motivation to overcome and conquer and destruct is my dad leaving. Mm-hmm. It left a chip on my shoulder, and it probably stems into that worthy belief where it was, he left because I wasn't worthy enough. Mm-hmm. Well, watch what I go pull off because of it. And that's why that adversity is special.
Yeah.
If you can hone that energy, hone that negative thing that took place in your life, and just squeeze it down to like a little pinhole so that all of that energy is focused into one small space. Now you've got a propulsion system where it pushes you to the next level. If it's just a wild bunch of hoses flapping everywhere, you're never going to get any momentum. You got to hone that energy into something so that it propels you forward. The best thing that ever happened was my dad left. You know why? Because my amazing mother raised me, and I got all the amazing traits of my mom. Mm-hmm. She taught me the importance of beauty, of aesthetics, of finesse, of intelligence, of being kind, caring, loving, like all the amazing things that a woman brings to the table. And thankfully, my mom was tough too. Mm-hmm. So she taught me the tough side. And whatever she couldn't teach me on the tough side, the world's going to teach you anyway.
Yeah.
That just happens. But the world never walks up and teaches you how to be caring and kind.
Right. No.
It teaches you how to be afraid and to protect yourself from the next big bad lion in the forest,
Yeah.
you know, or in the plains, not the forest. Lions aren't in the forest.
I didn't catch that.
Chris was like, yep, lions in the forest.
I
Yep.
didn't know there weren't lions in the forest.
Giraffes in the jungle.
Giraffes aren't in a jungle?
No.
Oh.
They're in the African plains.
I thought giraffes were just whatever.
Yeah, giraffes in the
I guess
jungle.
I'll go back to 3rd grade.
Monkeys in the lake. Fish in the...
I know. Yeah, thank you. So I was just going to say, I think that the most important part about mindset is waking up and being in the right mindset. So if you wake up and you don't feel good, choose to feel good, because the rest of your day is shot if you're not going to feel good. So choose to feel good. Choose to be positive. And I feel like I wasn't always like that, but the more that I was waking up and like, okay, I want to feel good. Okay, I want to have a good day. You know, that just became like, after forcing myself to do it, just becomes more natural.
It does. On that, so mine's a little bit more calculated on what I'm telling my brain. When I am at the max of my capacity, or at least feeling it, or let's just say that life just keeps throwing stuff at us.
You're like, how much more can I take today?
Yeah, it's like, boom, you got hit. You're like, oh, that kind of took me off. And then boom, you got hit again. You're like, man. And then boom. And then you're like at that point where it's just so painful. And you're like, you're still trying to crawl through the day and crawl to the next task to accomplish the next thing. And you're trying to stay focused on your goal. And then boom, you get hit again. It's like, if I get hit again, I'm done. At that moment, when I say, if I get hit again, I'm tapping out, I reverse that thinking and go, bring it on. And I tell myself, I can take more. I can take more. There's been so many times in my life where the average Joe sitting next to me would think I was I was seconds away from dying. Like, it's like from a meltdown. And in my mind, I stop, I reverse it instead of being a victim of it and go, bring it on. Because what that's really doing is it's telling your brain you've got room for more. And then that desire to have it stop and the feeling of overwhelming is gone. I was
going to say the overwhelming feeling is gone.
The overwhelming feeling is gone because you've turned it into, bring it on, I can take more.
Yeah.
I got more, bring it on. Who else wants some, you know? You turn it into a fight. And that's been really effective for me. So if you're ever at that point, just
tell yourself you could take more.
I can take more. And they even say that in like the Navy SEALs boot camp thing. You know, when these people are at a physical level, whenever your brain tells your body it needs to turn off, I guess there's a study out there, and it's a rough number of what I'm going to quote, you have 50% more in you before you truly are turning off. That's just your brain trying to turn you off before you overheat, you know? So I always think about that. Like, when those guys been up for 3 days, and then they got to sit in a classroom and take a test, and if they fall asleep, they get kicked out of the whole thing. Yeah. Like, that just shows what the physical body's capable of doing. Yeah, and it's really all the mind.
It's the mind, yeah. Okay, I want to take a minute to recognize one of our podcast sponsors, Battle-Born Injury Lawyers. I had a chance to spend some time with Matt Hoffman, and he really knows law, especially for personal injury. He's committed to helping his clients, and he's the one that's personally meeting with you to make sure you get a fair settlement. Put his number in your phone in case you ever need it. It's 702-570-9000. That's 702-570-9000.
So we addressed advice for business and personal growth. I definitely think we went over personal growth.
Yeah.
How to maintain a positive mindset. At the very least, I believe that I laid out like a grade level
because it's
model on how to shift what you believe about yourself and how to quickly begin to gain and keep self-esteem.
It's once you work on shifting it to then it just becoming natural.
Right.
It starts with the shift.
Right.
It's not always going to be a daily thing. The daily thing is just to change your like subconscious mind, and then from there you just feel it naturally.
Yeah.
And create a vision board, a visual for you to reach your goals.
Yes.
That's your boyfriend.
OMG. Zach is in the building. How do I look?
You look good today, babe. You picked the right outfit.
All right, everybody. Enjoy your day. Share.
Like. Subscribe.
Tell everybody about us. I mean, my goodness. If you like us, support us. And season 2.
Love.
Yeah, season 2 will be pretty cool.
Yeah, season 2 is going to be good.
Appreciate everybody. I love you, honey.
Love you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for listening.
If you enjoyed the show, please rate, subscribe, and share our podcast. You can also connect with us on social media or at galindogrouprealestate.com.
Until next time, thanks again for listening.